Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and a few people have asked me, hey, when are you going to do that Ben Affleck video? It is coming. I was trying to do a little bit of research for it, and came across a bunch of stuff that reminded me of another phenomenon in this community that I wanted to talk about. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because one of the things that I've noticed, and I've noticed this in my feed, because a lot of this stuff when I originally was looking into the whole thing with Ben Affleck and his transformation back near the movie, I noticed a lot of ads coming through with him in them. And Brittany and I both noticed this, and we started doing a little bit of digging, and a bunch of these companies, and these companies are still out there, every time someone like Ben Affleck or Hugh Jackman or someone gets in shape for one of these movie roles, you see a bunch of companies pop up and they offer products, and they use these actors' transformations. They use their transformations to try to sell garbage products that you don't need. And they get scary because they'll be like, oh, well, here's the stuff with their workout routine. Here's the workout routine they use, and they just make it up. They just make up a workout routine, and they'll put the actors before and afters in there. And I've seen ones where they do The Rock. I've seen one with Ben Affleck where they did a transformation for him. Then I saw one where they put Ben Affleck's head on The Rock's body. And you're looking at this going, what in the actual fuck? And they do a little bit about the workout, but then they go to the products that they used. And it's always some amazing muscle building, fat burning supplement. And they piggyback off of these actors' transformations. And you guys know from the video I already explained the other day that I did on this. I'll probably link it here in this video of how they actually do this. I went into what the training routines really look like for these amazing transformations and why these transformations work so well with the anabolic drugs they tend to use. Because of there's a synergy between the large calorie, the very high calorie diets they do, the massive amount of metabolic work and conditioning work they do when combined with some of these pharmaceutical substances. That's how they're pulling it off, because usually their transformations, their muscle growth per month exceeds what we know humans can grow. When we study it in a lab, even with really, really great training, their muscle growth is sometimes double what we see humans gain in a lab per month. So, I mean, there's obviously something else going on here, and it's not just good training. As oftentimes the training, if you were to look at it for just someone trying to get in shape who's completely clean, it's usually not that great. So there's a lot of factors going on there, but they always have some product. It's always some test booster, something that boosts your testosterone, your growth hormone, and it'll have names like Alpha Prime, and shit like that. And then you realize who it is that they're marketing to. Because you look at these products with these fake-ass testosterone boosters, and it'll be stuff like this. This product boosts your testosterone 300%, your growth hormone levels 250%. It'll be all this stuff that it does in the body, that it's going to do all these things for you, and they're everywhere. These things are popping up when people search for these actors. Anytime there's one of these transformations that's just been seen for any of these movie roles. And I definitely noticed it with the Ben Affleck stuff. And I'll cover that later, because Ben Affleck actually shows visible signs of exogenous hormone use, and that was a big part of a dead giveaway with his transformation. There's actually physical signs that means that his hormone balance was tampered with, and I can cover that later, and we'll get into that. But these products always pop up, and then you realize who is it that they're marketing to. Because you start looking, and then you'll look at them, and there'll be other ads all along the sides. And I caught this the other day. I think it was with one of them, it was like Alpha Prime or something like that. There were ads on how to get girls, how to kiss a girl correctly, how to attract women, how to lose your virginity. But literally, it had articles on how to correctly kiss a girl for the first time, how to talk to women. Do you guys see where this is going? They're writing these articles to be parasitic articles that sell products and have other articles to help sell you products and give you advice for insecure young men who don't know how to meet girls. All right? Insecure young men who don't know how to meet girls or how to talk to girls, how to get girls. They struggle with it. Maybe they're socially awkward. Maybe they're shy, or they just don't seem to have a knack for attracting women. And they have these actors with great physiques, and the guys see that and they're like, man, you know, if I could look like that, I could get girls, and they're going to give them all these articles on the sides too about all these other things for, how to kiss a girl for the first time. I literally saw that shit. And it made me realize this is a lot of the same tactics the mainstream supplement industry uses. That if you use our products, you're going to look like this guy, you're going to get girls, your life is going to be perfect. You're going to get everything that you want. And this is a totally parasitic marketing strategy, because not only is it parasitic in the fact that it attacks people's insecurities, insecure young men. There's a growing market for that. That's no longer a small number. There is an enormous number of young men in our society who actually struggle with meeting women. They struggle with getting laid. They struggle with meeting girls. They struggle with getting a date. This is an enormous market now. And these companies prey on this because they know they can rope them in. And the thing is, though, the worst part is they're selling products that don't even give the physical results that they're advertising. These people aren't going to achieve the results of these actors, just like the people buying these other supplements aren't going to look like the model on the cover. These guys on the cover are usually genetically gifted, and they've been using drugs for years. Years. But these companies try to convince people that they'll do this. And what does it come down to? Help them get girls. Usually help them get girls. And that's the ironic fact. Because this is going to come as a shock to a lot of young men. But the truth is, this is the first generation of young men, or at least the one before it, where getting girls was actually difficult. All right? All throughout history, and including even our society, men didn't have trouble getting women. Yeah, they chased women because the chase is fun and women expect you to chase them. That's traditionally the way it's been in Western society. Men are the chasers. But they got girls, and it wasn't difficult. What's happened? Because, the fact that this can be marketed to shows that this is an enormous population of young men. Do you know what I think it comes down to? I think it's twofold in nature. I think number one, and this is the smaller end really, everyone's online today. We have less social interaction. People are more socially awkward because their social activities oftentimes don't involve a face-to-face person anymore. They don't involve a face-to-face person anymore. And if you're not good with dealing with people in person, because now we have a lot of jobs today that don't require you to do much of that. A lot of people's hobbies and interests are all at home. They're all online. They're all on their phone. People have less social skills, and that includes young men. And let's be honest here. Most young men have a driving goal to get laid. It's just part of being a young man. Let's be honest. It is. It is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's just part of being born with a penis. It's normal. Young men obsess over pussy. Or if they're gay, over dick or whatever, but they obsess over sex. But we have a generation there that is more socially awkward because of our lifestyles. That makes it a little more difficult. Number two, we have a society that has emasculated men. In fact, we've got societies that tell men that they don't need to be men anymore. You know what? Men who behave as men, who are manly, what a lot of people now is being characterized as hypermasculine, what they're calling hypermasculine is just normal. Anyone who's not hypermasculine is either sometimes, individual traits, but normal is now considered to be hypermasculine. Being promoted that way. But you know what? Hypermasculine men usually get girls easier. And young men have been convinced that if, they're less masculine, less manly, and they're not taught how to be men anymore, because we have a society that doesn't focus on teaching men how to be men anymore because we have this whole gender neutral concept and this gender fluid concept. But the reality is what they are teaching is making it more difficult in general for young men to behave as men, to learn to be men. And no matter what social programming you throw out there, men who don't behave as men are going to be less attractive to the majority of women. And I'm not saying all, because there's going to be some women who like pussified men. All right, they do exist. But they are a small minority because you can't turn off that biological switch. Testosterone, both physical, the pheromones you produce from it, as well as behavior that is indicative of high testosterone levels, tends to be sexually attractive to straight females. Even if they don't like it socially, even if they think it's stupid, because a lot of girls are like, boy stuff is stupid, doesn't mean they're not still attracted to the guys who do it. And that's a big difference. Men don't know how to be men anymore. And let me make this very clear. If you're a man who is taking care of his business and you are behaving as a man in multiple aspects of your life, and you come across as masculine and at least somewhat have your shit together, and you're taking care of the things that a man needs to take care of, women are going to be attracted to you. Does it mean you're going to get every woman that you want? No. But you're going to find more women are attracted to you than would be otherwise. A lot more. At least on some level. And even if they aren't necessarily attracted to you, let me explain how this works. Guy who's manly, strong, but has a sensitive side, still does guy shit, does manly shit, is taking care of his business. Even other women who might not be attracted to you, already have a man, are going to be like, I know this guy, he's kind of got his shit together. He's a man. My girlfriend over here, she might like him. I should introduce him. That's kind of how this stuff goes. Just being that way alone is going to tend to get women who maybe are a little more stable and in their own relationship are going to see that, be like, oh, I got a friend who needs to meet him. And you'd be surprised how much that happens. Guys who somewhat have their shit together and who are being men attract more women, or they get introduced to more women that they don't even have to attract or go find themselves. That's the reality. There is a social aspect to that. But these magazines and these articles, they prey on the fact that men have lost sight of this, because men are no longer taught how to be men. They're confused about how to be men. They're confused as to what the fuck a man is. I mean, media doesn't help. Media's confused people as to what the fuck a man or a woman is, don't they? Well, that's hurting young men's ability to attract women. Absolutely does. You combine that with the social awkwardness that excessive internet can cause, and it's a recipe for disaster. But it's a marketing jackpot. I mean, it's a gold mine for people who want to market to those insecurities. And it's absolutely frightening how much of that is happening out there. And they use these actor transformations. I was overwhelmed at how much stuff that I found out there on it. These actor transformations market specifically to these young men to sell them garbage products that they don't need, that aren't even going to help them reach their goals. And it's one of the worst aspects of the supplement industry. And I'm really shocked to see it, but at the same time, I'm really not. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.